What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Echoes of Elsewhere, where forgotten places tell stories through the silence they leave behind. I'm your host, Courtney Autumn, and today I'm joined by a creator whose name has become etched into the Urbex community, Chris, better known as Bloodrow Kushner. For years, he's been capturing the beauty and the danger of abandoned spaces, blending raw exploration with a cinematic eye. His work doesn't just document decay, it transforms it into narrative, into atmosphere, into memory. In this conversation, we dive into the origins of his journey, the philosophy behind his explorations, and the stories that stay with him long after the dust settles. So settle in as we step into the shadows with Bloodrow Kushner. I was going to say, I need to send you a picture when we're done, because I just, Backroads to Abandon and we went out and found this random abandoned camper, and inside of it was a Pikachu, like a stuffed Pikachu.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I think that's the first time I've ever actually found, like, even a Pokemon-related thing in a bando, so I was kind of excited about it.
I think I found, like, Pokemon cards in a bando once, but they were, like, very messed up and like just they'd been sitting in water forever. But like, yeah, that's probably the only Pokemon thing I've actually found.
If you found a Pikachu though in a bando, would you take it?
I wouldn't. With me, I do have stuff that I have taken, but it's only because there's like a multitude of that thing. Like I have a pamphlet from a school for boys, and there was like tons of them, but I took it because, you know, it was a messed up place. Like these kids got abused there, some kids got killed.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And this was actually the only place I got caught by police. It was a weird experience because me and my buddy Tony, Fighting Spirit Paranormal, we showed up there and we were exploring and whatnot. We were there for like an hour and a half. We were there for a super long time. And we were coming out of this building, and Tony's just like sitting outside. And I see behind him a pickup truck. And keep in mind, this is like, it's like a horseshoe, the way the street is around this school for boys. And inside was the maximum security area. Like that was the barbed wire. That was like where they would put all the troubled kids, more so boys in this case. And so like I see this truck, I'm like, oh man. So I go out there, he already saw us, there's no point in trying to act like, you know, oh, we're not here. So I'm very good at kind of fusing a situation, I will say. I was just honest with him. I'm like, hey, I saw this place on Facebook, and there's a whole group of people that survived that attended here, and I came here to take photos and video. And they were so intrigued, but they were trying to like probe me for answers. And as I was walking up to this truck, this guy flashes a badge. It's a legit badge. I sat there, I took a quick glance at it, and I was like, shit. He was in civilian clothes, and he was with, funny enough, his wife. I guess they were driving by the place and they saw my buddy's car, and
oh no,
they decided to go back. And I guess he lived nearby and he would check in on the place every now and then.
I see.
And he was telling us that a university bought the property. They had issues with people breaking in and stealing stuff, so
oh shit,
they've been cracking down on people going to the property.
Well, that makes sense. It's always somebody else though that ruins it before you.
Yep. That's usually how it goes, especially here in Florida.
Yeah, I was gonna ask where you're located. Have you done most of your explores there in Florida, or have you gone traveled a lot?
98% of them. Actually, I've only explored maybe 2 or 3 places outside of Florida. So,
oh really?
in the past 5 years, since I've been doing this, about three 3 locations were outside of Florida.
Okay, nice. Where in Florida do you live?
I'm up by Daytona Beach, like over
Okay,
near the Orange City area.
gotcha.
Yeah, so like 5-6 hours away from Georgia, which is nice.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So you started 5 years ago. Was that during COVID?
It was a little bit before COVID. I want to say it was let's say it was like 3 or 4 months before. And I've always been interested in exploring, but I just never got up and did it myself. I've always watched, Exploring with Josh, The Proper People, Steve Ronan.
That really like piqued your interest,
Yeah,
obviously.
and I had a lot of weird, like, paranormal experiences too when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like in your house, or?
it was in my grandparents, actually.
Oh no, that makes it even more creepy.
Yeah, so this is what happened. My uncle he was killed when he was 16. This was like in the 70s, or yeah, late 70s. And he was very close with my mom, and he would babysit her, watch her every time my grandparents would be busy, like with work or just out. And I come from a pretty good sized family, but yeah, he was 16, and I'll just say he got involved with some not so great people. And basically, they retaliated. They killed him like a couple blocks away.
Oh my god!
And yeah, they just shot him. They tried to kidnap him.
Holy crap!
And yeah, so the paranormal experience is that of him. And mind you, what really kind of solidified this with me was my mom had experiences too, and she never told me until,
Oh no!
yeah, it makes the hair on my arm stand up just talking about it. But yeah, like, he had a drum set in the basement. I remember when I was like, had to have been when I was like 8 or 7. I remember being up in the kitchen, and I was playing with my Hot Wheels cars, and I was a very independent kid. Like, I didn't really need anyone around to just be entertained. So I was just
I
playing.
was like that.
Yeah, it's great to be like that, because you really learn to just kind of depend on yourself and just
Yeah, I think it makes you like way more self-sufficient as a person.
exactly. But yeah, I was just up there playing with my toy cars, and I can't remember if I think it was my grandma that was out in the backyard. My mom, I think, was at work. My grandpa he may have been at work too, or out back. But I remember hearing something in the basement. And mind you, I know the basement. I've been in the basement. Like, I know the layout. So I'm just like, who is in the basement that I did not see go down there? So there's like a little flight of stairs, and it leads to like the back door, and you can look out back. And I looked out back thinking, maybe it's my grandma. She came in. Nope, she was out there in the garden. And I'm like, okay. So I turned on my right, opened the basement door. I start going down the stairs, and it didn't click with me at first, but I was like about halfway down the stairs. I'm like, that's a drum set. So I'm just like, is somebody like playing music? Is somebody sampling like drum? Like, what is going on? So I'm like walking halfway down, almost to the door where the drum set is. And I know this drum set's down there. I I didn't really think about it until I was like halfway to that door. I'm just like, wait a minute. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like, if like somebody's just in there cleaning, and they just decide to, like, just take a few to just,
Start playing the
yeah.
drums.
So I'm like halfway. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident now. It's like daytime, so I'm not like scared, because it's daytime. Like nothing bad can happen during the daytime, right? So
It's at least a little more comforting.
yes, I see the light spilling in through the windows, and like, the basement lighting is just horrible, but like you get that lighting. So like I'm just about to open the door's shut, and I'm reaching for the handle. So I'm just hearing like the snare drum like occasionally. And then like I heard like the bass drum, the main kicking drum, that. And then
Oh no.
I
You're like, there's no mistaking this.
yeah, and so like I'm opening the door, and before I can even look in there, everything just kind of stopped as soon as I like turned the handle. And like I'm pretty scared at this point, honestly. I don't even know, as a 8-year-old, 9-year-old, however old I was, I don't know how I got the courage to actually open that door, but I did. And before I could look in there, I heard drumsticks just drop on the floor and start rolling. So like
Oh no.
I swing the door open because I'm like, all right, well, if there's anything bad in here, this is it. So so I open it. I just see some drumsticks kind of rolling across the floor. And mind you, it's not a big room. It is not that big. And I'm just like sitting there dumbfounded, like, what the hell is going on? And like, it's not like the drumsticks can just like fall off the drum set. They had a little holder. So
Yeah, I see. So there's
yeah,
no
so
like
they
just
would have
that happening.
yeah, they would have had to physically been pushed up out of the holder to land on the floor and start rolling. So me, I just kind of went in and grabbed the drumsticks, and I put them back because, I was always told, like, if you go in a place, you mess something up, or if something drops, you pick it up. Like, I've always been an organized
I love
kid.
that.
Like,
You're like, I'll just clean right up
yeah,
after this
yeah.
goes.
And I'm just like, so I just put them back in the holder. I figured, like, maybe they were moving stuff around because that whole room has stuff of my uncle's in it. And I figured they were just moving stuff around or something, and maybe the drumsticks were like set on the drums, and they just
They
fell.
weren't in their proper
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
But I, after that, I shut the door, and, I
You're like, and I never went back in there again.
no lie, I was always scared about going into that basement after that. But like, as I was going up the stairs, I started hearing noise again from that room. I was like, okay, nope, I'm getting out of here. But that was like one of my paranormal experiences. And then my mom, this was like a couple of years ago, she told me about how she experienced the same thing with the drum set. And to put my mom to sleep when he would babysit her, he would play her music box. That music box would go off sometimes at night for her.
No, I knew
Yeah.
you were gonna say
And
that. No.
and I was just like, yeah, and she even saw like a full body apparition of him, like just like in
Oh,
the kitchen, like wearing the same clothes that he would normally wear. And I'm just like, that is like
no.
crazy. But
I would have moved out.
yeah, I mean, it's my grandparents, and it still has some weird activity even to this day. Like, even after my grandparents passed, like, it still has this weird feel just being there.
Is the house still like in your family?
So my uncle's there. He's taking
Okay.
care of the house, but it's kind of caused a lot of like chaos within the family because
Oh no, like about who's getting it and stuff.
yeah, nobody could get on the same page to save their life. And you would think that they would have learned with my grandma, but nope, it was the same thing with my grandpa. Like,
Ugh, that's unfortunate.
yeah, so like, unfortunately, a lot of my family isn't really close anymore because of a lot of that. But yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. And I'm sure that's probably the last thing your grandparents would have wanted.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's, the paranormal has always intrigued me. But circling back to urban exploring, I've always kept a division between the paranormal and urban exploration, because I don't want to go into a place thinking, oh, I'm going to catch some ghosts.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yeah, I go into a place with a clear head of just, I'm going to focus on the architecture, the history, and if it's haunted, hey, that's a freaking bonus.
Especially for content.
Yes, exactly. And honestly, there's only been a couple of times where I captured something. Two of my videos have something like that, where I caught a voice that I didn't hear with my ears, and neither did anyone else that was with me. So yeah, there's been instances where I caught voices. Like in one of my videos, there's a house I coined the Last of Us house, because I thought it resembled a lot like one of the houses in that video game. And I don't know how I saw this house, but I was going like 50 miles per hour down the road, and I'm just like, la da 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 da. And I look outside my window. I'm like, oh crap! Did you see that? There was like a teeny tiny point,
a piece of the roof.
yeah, just poking out from the trees. And my buddy Eric, like, I've known him for years, and I started off exploring with him, and he was just like, there was a house back there. I was like, yeah, dude. So we turned around, we parked, and sure enough, we're like, holy crap, this place is crazy. Like, it literally looks like squatter's paradise, but we went in there anyways, and there was like a fresh papaya just chilling on the couch, and we're just like, dude, what the hell have we got ourselves into? So
I would have been out of there.
yeah, so we were just like, all right, let's just kind of go through here and see. So like, we're there for a bit, we check the place, there's nobody there, and then we go to the garage. This is where I caught the voice. So I like step foot in the garage, and I'm just like kind of panning the camera around. And of course, like, it's right next to a main road, so like you hear a lot of noise, you hear like a lot of radios, cars, and whatnot. So I'm just recording and don't hear anything, but I shit you not, I get home, start working on the video. Mind you, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that, 2 o'clock. So I'm sitting there half asleep and just like chilling, and I hear this voice while I'm watching that clip. I literally put down my headset and looked to my door, because I thought it was like my mom or something, like trying to get my attention. I'm like, why is she up at 1 o'clock in the morning trying to? So I look towards my door, nobody's there. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe they just didn't come in because they figured, whatever. So I open the door, nobody's up. I go back in my room, and I'm just like, okay, well, maybe, it's a lack of sleep. Maybe I'm just hearing shit at this point.
Like, at this point, I'm hallucinating.
So I'm just like sitting there. I go back, and I'm like, wait, because I played it again. I heard that voice again. I'm like, there is no way in hell I just caught that. So like, I'm listening, and I catch this female. It's a very clear, distinct female voice saying, "Hey, you," or "They knew." So, so this house, I think it was abandoned like 2011, and this was in 2021, 2022. Ooh. So yeah, it's been a bit. And it's funny because in one of the rooms, it dated the house, because you saw a whole bunch of bands written on the wall. You saw like Blood on the Dance Floor, Job for a Cowboy, Jeffree Star. Like, I'm like, dude,
Oh shit!
this is
You're like MySpace
yeah,
days.
this is and it's funny because I'm like, I'm gonna dub this house the MySpace house or the
Oh my god, that's funny.
or the RAR XD house, because there's a wall and it said RAR XD. It had a red and black checker and like
That's so funny.
with red handprints. That was so funny to me.
I feel like this is my like spirit animal's house.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, job for a cowboy. I would get along great with this person because I love that band. Back in
I would have been playing like search for the next band and see like how many you can find on the wall.
Yeah, but when I saw that, I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Like, it dates the house, like even like just thinking about it, I'm just sitting there. I went on Google Street Maps. I'm like, yeah, this place was abandoned like 2011. Like, it was starting to get overgrown like around then, and then it just kind of sat. So going back to the voice, I quickly recorded it like with my phone, showed it to a couple people just to make sure I'm not tripping, and kind of get other people's opinion. I even showed it to my friend I was with, and he's like, yeah, no, I didn't even hear that in person. So
that's even more weird.
Yeah, so I slowed down the clip, and of course, that's where I was like, it sounds like it says they knew, but then like I play it at like regular speed, and it sounds like hey you, which would scare the living shit on me if somebody said hey you. And I was even looking at like the top of the garage, like, because there's just like rafters, like you could see like the 2x4. I was just looking up there, just waiting to see like a pair of eyes just looking at me or something,
glowing.
like, that's how weird that shit was. And I was like, okay, so I'm right next to a main road, there's cars, so what are the chances that it was a radio? So I was like listening, I'm like, that can't be a radio because you can hear a radio in the background, and it's completely separate from the voice. So yeah, I ended up uploading that video, and yeah, I always show people, I'm like, this is like, I don't catch paranormal stuff, I just don't. But when I do, it's situations like that where it's just like completely out of the blue and unexpected. But
I'd be glad you didn't hear it in person, because I feel like I would have ran straight out of there.
Yeah, it's funny because we went back to that place recently. I think it was like middle of last year, and I went with Joey CTV and Tony Fighting Spirit Paranormal. And of course, like, I record with people that are into the paranormal, and I told them about the place, and they were just like intrigued. So we get there, and there's literally people living in the woods next to this place. Like, these people weren't there when
you went there.
And
yeah.
There's literally like, they have dogs. My friend started going towards the woods. I'm like, dude, that is not a good idea. And as soon as he started going in there, the dog, you could hear it barking, and I was like, yeah, no, let's get the hell out of here. And like, to make it even more weird, there's a trail that goes from the back of the house all the way back to this trailer. It's like a mobile home. It literally looks like a hurricane or tornado splatted it down in the middle of these woods, and it was just left there.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And so like, we went back towards there, we walked this trail, and it looked like people were taking like their ATVs and stuff out there. So you know, we're walking, all of a sudden we see this leather jacket just hanging up in one of the trees, and we were just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, this is some like weird like
some wrong turn bullshit.
Yeah, some Resident Evil shit. Like, they're just trying to keep people out. But like, so we saw that, and we kept going, and then we got to like the trailer in the woods, and I mean, this thing's decimated. There is nothing left of it. Like, it's literally just a skeleton of a trailer. but somebody made like a little it looked like a little home back there. And my friend Joey was like, dude, there's somebody back there in that little makeshift tent. And I guess somebody like peeked out at us while we were there.
They're very innovative in the streets.
And they were actually taking stuff from the local, like, it looked like a pediatric place, like marble slabs, and they were bringing it to the house, it looked like. So they had a vehicle, which...
That's so odd.
Yeah, which made it even more weird. I was just like...
I mean, I guess, like, some homeless people, like, live out of their cars for a bit, and then maybe if you're lucky and you find yourself a good bando.
Yeah, and even one of
the
the...
next thing you know, you have yourself a place.
Yeah, and one of the rooms was repainted. Like, the main dining
What the
room.
hell?
Yeah, they repainted. Like, it wasn't like a pretty ass paint job, but like it was clearly touched
They
up.
stole that paint from the back of like Home
Yeah,
Depot.
and then like they literally dragged in like furniture, but the furniture made no sense.
Like they had a dining room set, but it wasn't a set, and every chair was different, and the table was a plastic table.
Yeah, there's a broken ass keyboard just in the corner on the stand. I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's so weird.
Yeah, no, like I'm telling you, exploring in Florida is like Florida, man. Like you're
explaining it exactly as I envisioned it.
Yeah, it's like you could show up to a place and it's like, oh, this is definitely abandoned, but nope, grandpa's in his pajamas just sitting there. Like, the place looks abandoned from the outside, but you look inside, it's like, hey, how you doing? It's just like you're
like, I didn't accidentally just walked into someone's house.
Yeah. You really got to watch. Like, that's why I do extraneous like research on places. Like, I'll look on Regrid, I'll look on like Google Maps, I'll look at all the street views that are available.
I do the same thing. I look at tax records, I look at anything.
Yep, exactly. And like I tell people, I'm like, you can never be too careful with shit like this. Like, you are intruding on someone's home potentially. So you best believe you do the amount of goddamn research you can.
Or you might get shot.
Yeah, like, because you could go back and you could be like, oh, I researched all this, but you can't go back once you get shot in the face or something. Like,
there's no recovering from that.
Yeah, it's so much better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, of course. Do you have a lot of people there though in your area or in Florida nearby that you explore with or not?
Not really, no.
Oh no.
Yeah, not really. I've actually been exploring a lot alone, actually, as of recently.
Oh, really?
I've been...
I was gonna ask if you ever do that or not.
Yeah, ever since, like, this year, I've kind of taken it to myself to explore more alone. It's just really nice to decompress that way. Even if it's a place I've been to, like, I feel more comfortable if it's a place I've been to.
Yeah, of course. You don't ever make yourself more paranoid, like, with every sound you hear.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, it's like, I return to places sometimes, it's like, holy shit, what the hell happened here? Like, it's completely different. Sometimes it's touched up. Sometimes there's furniture in here now. It's like, huh. And then, sometimes you go to a place, it's like, man, like, this place got
gutted.
Yeah. But yeah, it's tough because the small circle I do explore with, like, everyone has jobs, like I said, and I work full time. They have their own things going on, and there's a couple people that are like a few hours away. But yeah, I've been exploring more on my own. Yesterday I was exploring with a couple friends. They came in from about 2.5 hours away, and yeah, we just like explored some spots. We went back to the one house I'm working on the video for now. It's like a Great Dane breeder's estate,
Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent sized house. Um it's not really a mansion by definition, but I call it that because it's like 4,000 square feet. It's a pretty decent
That's
house.
a pretty big house. Yeah.
And I always tell people, I'm like, think of it as a perspective of a person, like an everyday person, like they would consider it a mansion. Like nobody ever says, "Oh, let me look up this house on oh, it's just shy of 5,000. That's not a mansion." Like
I know.
nobody does
Like,
that.
what's your running criteria
Yeah.
for a mansion?
But by definition, it's like, oh, bigger than 5,000. But I'm like, dude, like if you're in a house that was built in like the 1920s or 30s, by definition, do you think a mansion was considered the same thing in the 20s and
No, God,
30s?
no.
Exactly. So it's like it like if you have a house that old, like it was considered a mansion at its time. So I
Mhm.
pretty much gonna probably call it like the Great Dane Breeder's Estate Mansion or something like that. And
Mhm.
yeah, this place had power.
Does that ever weird you out?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it makes it
Oh
so
yeah.
much worse for me every time. Like, I almost don't even bother hitting any switches because 'cause I'm like, I don't even wanna know if the power's on.
It
Like,
it weirds me out so much, and my friends, they didn't really explore a whole lot of places with power. So I was just like, yeah, no, like the power still works. If you can find a charger for that laptop over there, you could probably fire that on. Like
yeah.
it's
Well, so many things, but my head is instantly like, "Where are the cameras?"
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
because 'cause I'm like, if it has power, then now I'm really sketched out.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was one of the things that I was really worried about. My head was on a swivel. I'm like, dude, this is just insane. But then I looked around at the decay, I looked around at the mold. I'm like, there is no way in hell somebody's keeping watch on this place. It's so overgrown. It's in the middle of nowhere. Like, and
But doesn't it make you wonder who is paying the bill?
probably us good old taxpayers. That's what I tell people
Uh,
all the time. I'm like, it's probably us taxpayers, just, you know.
'Cause I'm just like, who the fuck is keeping the power on around there? You would think, like, whoever the energy company is would have at some point been like, "Well, these people ain't paid their bill in 2
Y-
decades. It's time to cut the power off."
Yeah, I don't know how that exactly works. And then, there's some cases where, like, the nearby squatters, they rig something up to where it's happened before where they rig something up to just like jump the breaker box. I don't know how the hell they do it, but
Jeez.
yeah, like it's happened.
I'm like, if you're that resourceful, you need to go to work.
Yeah, like
You could go work for the
yeah,
energy company. They will pay you well.
yeah. There's probably people on the black market who are like, hey, you know what? You know, tap into my
There's what do
breaker
you mean the
box.
black market? You probably look it up on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Like,
talking about
how do
people.
I rig free power?
Yeah, people on the black market just being like, "Hey, my power bill is outrageous. Can I hire somebody to jerry rig my breaker box?"
I mean, doing that shit with everything. I'd be like, come rig my breaker box, my Wi-Fi router. I want everything for free.
Yeah, but that's only happened a handful of times. Or like I've showed up at a place, I'm just like, this place has power. That's ridiculous. Like, um, I think one.
I can just see you every time. Now I'm just gonna have this envisionment in my head that you walk into a bando and you flip the light switch on and the light comes on. You're like, well, there's the taxpayers.
Yeah, just a sound pops in my head, just like you are now currently paying electricity for, and then just like the address gets read out in like you know basic
You
hey
have
Siri
donated
voice.
$18,000 and
What
47
the?
cents.
We were even joking
Oh, that's
around
funny.
like we were just like, man, I really want to go into a bando and just like turn on all the lights, get in touch with the person that owns the place, and just be like, we are calling about your energy bill. And then just like,
We have seen a sudden increase.
yeah, you are under investigation for power over, I don't know, electricity overuse.
It's a lady from Squid Games, and she's like, if you would like to proceed, press the blue button.
It's funny you mentioned that because I just started watching that series, like, and I don't know why it took me.
Oh no, Chris, don't do it because it will literally give you anxiety.
I already have that, so I'm not scared.
No, me too. And it just like propels it into a dark, dooming place. And I'm like, oh my God, my neurosystem, I don't think it can handle this. I also have autism, so I like get overstimulated really easily. And that show just really does me in. But it's addicting. It's like an addicting adrenaline anxiety. Like I'm addicted to it. I'm like, no, but I want to watch the next episode. I gotta know who dies.
I just watched, spoiler alert for anyone listening, so if you haven't seen this, cover your ears. I think it was episode 5, the old 001, the old guy. I just watched that episode where he dies, and then the what's his name, the guy that's from Pakistan, he dies as well. And I was just like,
oh yes,
I was just like, I fucking hate this episode.
I know more episodes like that will happen.
Oh my God.
Season 2 is even worse. Like season 2, they brought a baby into the mix.
Oh Jesus freaking Christ.
Yeah, and that really upped the ante. And I'm just like, I can't be here for this journey anymore. Like as soon as I realized what was happening, I was like, no. I don't even think I can finish the season. Did I? Yes, I did. But still.
Jeez. Yeah, that.
Yeah, brace yourself. It's a lot.
God dang it. I'm going to have a real good talk with my friend about getting me into that show because, oh man, this is going to damage me. I know it. That episode just destroyed me because I love that old guy. That old guy was.
I know.
I was just like, and then at the end, he's like, I know you lied to me. Why did you do that? Here you go, anyways. And I was just like that.
I know.
Yeah.
It gets you. It really gets the worst of you and the best of you at the same time.
It's only like 4 or 5 episodes in. Like, what the hell? And I'm just like,
I know.
Wait.
But doesn't it keep you wanting to know what happens next? Because that's the issue. It's like you almost are like at the anxiety peak where you're like, I don't even think I want to go on. But yes, you do, because you have to know what's going on.
Yeah, that show and Dexter did that shit to me where,
oh my God, yes,
I was just like, to be honest, I did not like that show the first couple episodes. I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, but then he's like about to kill the priest who's messing with the kids. I'm like, yeah, okay, this show's great. This show's great. Do it. Do it. I don't care. Do it. Invite everybody from the Miami Police Department. Just do it. And then I was just like addicted. And then like I think it was like season 5 or 6, and I was just like, okay, like all right, like it's kind of died down, but it was a great show. It was like,
yeah, I agree. It did have that same kind of appeal with the anxiety, though, where you're just like, well, yeah, that was a lot, but then you're like, oh, but what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yep. Get that same anxiety when walking into a place. I'm just like, but then the adrenaline kicks in. I'm like, all right, it'll be worth it. And then my anxiety's like, no, are you sure about that? Because I listened to a lot of like one of the other YouTubers I watch, Mr. Ballin, does like crime documentaries, basically medical mysteries and all this other stuff. His storytelling is phenomenal. I love it. But like some of those stories, I'm just like, what the actual fuck? Like, how does this even happen? And we would just like listen to it in car rides sometimes. And like normally I'm listening to music, but some explorers we just listen to that, and I'm just like, god damn, like
you're like, this is not the vibe for a band.
Yeah, it's funny because it was like most of the time we listened to that, I was with my ex, so like we would just be, hey, let's listen to a crime podcast while we're driving away from this bando or to this bando. I'm like, all right. That'll put
like, let's relax.
Yeah, that'll put me on edge. That will make me put my head on a swivel. Like, all right. But yeah, that stuff's really interesting to me, and that was something that I never really paid attention to. But the storytelling aspect was really cool. It's very intriguing because he changes the names, he changes the stories a little bit just to like kind of help tell of it. And I kind of was like, why don't I just try and use this same concept for like abandoned places,
Mhm.
but just like fill in the gaps here, paint more of an image for the people
Mhm.
listening. And
Yeah.
I had this aha moment of just because I do like to write and stuff. And when I'm writing stuff, like that's like my go-to is I want to paint an image with the words.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why don't I do this with my videos? So
Yeah.
that's what I kind of tried to do. And I kind of did that with this video I'm working on. I gave them different names, and I kind of was like looking more into like the family history, and I was just like, well, there's not really a whole lot of history to go off of. Um, but I did find the husband's like obituary, and it had like information on, when he died. And I was like, okay, well, I can use that in the video. But yeah, it's just stuff like that. It's really cool how we can take stuff from like TV shows or like fellow creators and just like kind of apply it to whatever we do. Not in a way of that you're stealing like their idea, but you're just kind of like putting your own little twist on it and just like using it to better what you create. And
Yeah.
because it
You're like, "I'm not completely
yeah,
hijacking."
exactly. There's people out there that just like steal people's photos and reels
Oh
and
god, that drives
videos.
me crazy.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like, what the hell, man? Like these people go out of their way to go to these spots and then you steal the
Yeah, and
photo.
put themselves at risk and in danger and
Yeah,
stuff.
you
Yeah.
steal the photo, you change the color just a tad bit, or you change the angle by rotating the photo, and then you're just like, oh yeah, I was here before you. Look at this. It's like, dude, like, first of all, nobody cares who was there first. Like, that's just like such a
I know, I hate
childish
that.
thing. Like, oh, you're
I'm like, "Ooh, prove
you're
it."
welcome for opening the spot up. Like, it's like, dude, shut up.
I'm like, "No, do you know who went there first? The people who own it."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hmm.
Yeah, no, and that's what I hate most, I think, about this community is that they've turned this, like, hobby into a competitive sport or something, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't care, and quite frankly, I used to kinda be more annoyed with when people would fabricate too much of the stories,
Yeah.
but now I actually enjoy it because like you're saying, I appreciate the storytelling behind it, so I
Yeah.
don't really care anymore if you're telling me proper facts, like, as long as you're not making up a whole elaborate thing that could potentially, like, ruin someone's reputation or ruin the future sale of a house for someone who does or might still own it, anything.
Yeah.
But as long as you're not completely just going in there and be like, Jason Voorhees lived here and he murdered everyone, or whatever, like, then I'm here for the journey. I can I can totally appreciate good storytelling, and it's good to have on the aesthetic of our
Yeah,
backs, I
like
think.
I yeah, that's an interesting subject too, because like I was just talking the other day about how like that's like a pet peeve of mine where it's like, hey, I found a picture of Betty White in his house. Oh, this must be Betty White's house. It's like, no, dude.
Yes.
Like, no. Like like
Next time, I hope I find, like, a picture of Taylor Swift and a bando so I can be like, y'all will never guess whose house I explored."
oh my
And it's literally just a poster of her on the wall. I'd be like, "It must be her
the
house."
Stone Cold Steve, that shit cracked me up because I was like, Stone Cold Steve Austin house. Why are they calling it that? And then it was just a big giant cutout of him. I was like, oh,
I know,
okay.
it's, like, the only thing of him in the house.
I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, but like like like
I mean, but stuff like that happens. It's no different than you were saying earlier about calling that house the MySpace house,
yeah,
what I mean? It's just
exactly.
like you see something random and it
Yep,
just pops into your head and you're like, "This is the name
yep.
for it."
Like I try and kind of like I try and choose names for places, and then it's like if I find like, oh, this house was built in the 1920s and it's like a Greek revival style or something, like that's what I'll base it off of. That's what I'll like end up naming it. But then like if I find history, then I might change it because I want it to reflect like the history more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect
But
sense.
yeah, no, I always try and kind of base it off something like that. That's why it's like so hard to like explore empty places, because it's like, well, I don't really know what to call it. I don't want to just sit here and make up a bullshit story about this place. I actually want to know the history, but honestly, there's been so many places where I show up there and it's just like I can't find anything on the place. And then I just feel like, I'm always obligated to kind of tell like a story, but there's just some times where there's really no story. There's no records of
Anything.
yeah. And, who's to say what happened there? And there was this place, it was like a family a homestead, but there was like two houses there. They were like abandoned since like 20, I want to say 14, if I can remember properly. So we showed up there, and this was kind of like another one of the weird experiences I had, like paranormal wise. But I was there with Tony and Joey, and we went into one house. It was fine. It looked like the hood kids just kind of came in and they made it like their little hangout spot. They didn't trash anything. They didn't do anything like that. They'd set it up like a little man cave type of deal.
I was gonna say like a little chill
Yeah,
cave.
and it was cool. Like I was like, man, I would have done that too if there's an abandoned house on my street as
Hell
a
yeah.
kid. And yeah, so then we go to the house next to it, like this, and this is like weird because you never find abandoned houses like really right next to each other. So we go to this other one, and immediately it was just like it felt off. And of course, Joey and Tony were just kind of like hanging around the dining room area. And then Tony got like his REM pod, and they started trying to see if there's any activity or anything. And Tony just like kind of felt sick. Like he was like kind of feeling off.
Oh no.
And then while we were sitting there, we heard like a thud in the back room. And me and Joey just started going down that hallway because we thought, oh, okay, somebody was here. And we go down there, there was nobody back there. We're just like, what the hell? And then we go back into the living room, and Tony's just kind of like sitting on the floor. He was holding his head, and I was just like, man, what if it was doing that to just like, draw us away from him so it could like make him
Oh
not feel
no.
well? And then Joey had to literally like help him out of the house because he felt awful in there.
Oh no.
And that was like another paranormal experience. I was like, well,
That's so weird.
but
We're like never coming back here again.
yeah, like and we can't because that place is demolished now. It got demolished like
Probably for good reason, it sounds
yeah,
like.
it got demolished like a few weeks after we went there. I was like, and I named the video. I'm like, this family homestead was so evil it had to be demolished. And I was just like, okay, that's fine because it's true. It did get demolished. I don't know if that was the reason why, but that would be why.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, that would be why I would demolish it, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And see, what's interesting is I don't think I've had like a lot of paranormal. I don't think I've had actually any paranormal
Oh,
experiences while out exploring. I have like just in regular life, but not specifically while I was exploring. So I don't even know how I would honestly react to that because the only paranormal experience I've ever had was in the house that I grew up in with my dad and my grandparents. And there was definitely like the house had only had one owner before my dad bought it, and the lady's husband died in that house.
mm-hmm.
So I assume it was like his ghost, because it always came out of the same bathroom in the same spot, roughly around the same like time of evening, and so on and so forth. And it just eventually became a thing I got used to.
Yeah, so that is what in the paranormal field we call it a residual. That is basically just the ghost living their life still. Like
And that's what it felt like. I
Yeah.
never felt like I got freaked out the first time I ever saw it, and my grandparents told me about it. Like, they were like, "Oh, we were just sitting here the other week and we swore we saw a ghost." And of course, I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe you guys just didn't take your meds on time or something, like, or maybe you stayed up past the point of where your meds should have made you be asleep." Like, I don't know.
Jeez.
So I'm like just speculating that they're on something and they have no idea what they're talking about. And then one night I saw it myself and it literally like stopped me cold in my tracks. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
And
And it just stood there, and you couldn't make out really anything specific. It was almost just like a shadowy
mhm.
mass. But you could tell it was the stature of a man.
Yep, that's and going back to my mom's experience when she woke up and saw the
Your uncle.
yeah, like she literally said the same thing. Like every morning he would like kind of to say good morning, he would lean in the doorway of the kitchen and just kind of smile and say good morning. And that was what he was doing when
Ugh,
she saw and I take it as something that is positive. Like just
of
thinking
course. Yeah.
like because he's still there, he's still watching over the house and he's still showing that he cares. And and like it
Yeah. And he's not like
residual
aggressively
yeah,
doing
yeah,
anything.
it's
Yeah.
a residual energy. And there's ghosts that are, you know, they're poltergeists, they move stuff, they throw stuff, or like, that
Yeah.
kind of
They're
deal.
scary.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because I don't know if you get this a lot, but when I tell people, oh yeah, I like to explore abandoned places, everybody's like, oh, so you ghost hunt? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I've gotten that before. And that's still so confusing to me because I'm just like, they're two separate things
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people they don't really think about how like fascinating abandoned places can be. Like they just think,
without like the lore of something else, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, like
No, that makes sense. I mean, I guess it's very niche, if you're just randomly kind
yeah,
of like, oh, yeah, I want to go into an abandoned
yeah,
place and you don't have a purpose behind that. But I don't know. I feel like when I picture paranormal, um, what do you call them? Paranormal, like investigators, I
yeah,
guess, or
yeah,
something. Um, I picture more of like an abandoned asylum, an abandoned school,
yeah,
less on the house front for some reason. I always picture more of this like large mass of a place or a graveyard or an old farm or an active house.
yeah.
Like maybe that's why I lose it
That's
because if I've watched the shows, they're like in someone's house because they've done gotten called by Aunt
ghost
Betty who's been
hunters.
living her yeah, and she's just trying to live her own peaceful life and make her French toast every Saturday, and she can't because the ghost is keeping her out of her
Yeah,
kitchen or
I was
whatever the
I
fuck.
was obsessed with ghost hunters. Not so much ghost adventures because Zach Bagans kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know what it is with that guy, but it seems like he would have the ego the size of like Mount
Oh,
Everest.
no.
And I've
I
heard
totally agree.
that he does have like this super crazy ego. And that is another pet peeve of mine. Like if you have an ego that size,
We can't do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to be in the presence of somebody. Like it's almost suffocating just hear this person go on about themselves and on about
Uh,
themselves. And I'm just like,
yeah.
all right, let's talk about something other than you, or let's talk about something or
They're definitely the kind of friend that, like, calls you but never once asks how you're
yeah,
doing, and they just wanna call you and bitch
exactly.
about their lives.
Exactly. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm all for just hearing people out, but it's like there's a point where it just becomes insufferable. But yeah, no,
I
I
agree.
used to love ghost hunters, and that it's funny because like when I moved to Florida, one of my favorite episodes of Ghost Hunters was the St. Augustine Lighthouse episode. And I remember going into that lighthouse after I moved here, and I'm just like, dude, it's so unreal being here. Just like think about that.
Like, "I saw this on TV."
Yeah, that shadow figure peeking over the ledge on the very top floor and then just like vanishing.
Hell no.
Like, that's like my favorite place in Florida is St. Augustine. Like 1565, that place has history. Like, it's insane to think that place was founded in 1565, and
That's
just
crazy.
it was
Yeah.
built on just graveyards and death, which is insane.
Yeah. Talk about some paranormal activity.
Hmm.
You could probably just walk the streets around there and get
Yep.
that.
I honestly, like, it was nice when I first moved here, but the more people found out about it, the more busy it became.
Mhm.
And like, it was nice the
Sounds
first
like a little tourist trap.
yeah, now it's just like very touristy. So that's why I just wait until 2 or 3 a.m. and I just go out into the town and there's nobody. It's just dead silent. And then you can go over by the Telemato Cemetery where all the yellow fever victims are buried.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You can't go in there, but like, you can go up to the gates, and that place, it just has a weird feeling to it.
I was gonna say that's gotta be kinda
Yeah,
eerie.
plus you're right by the ocean. So like, the ocean's like literally right across the street, and there's like a old Spanish fort there. And
Oh, wow. Oh, interesting.
yeah, that place is beautiful. But like, it was marked National Registry of Historic Places. It was marked, and then I think Teddy Roosevelt, he took point in preserving the place because I guess like a cannonball had damaged the structure in one area, and ever since then it's fallen apart. But like, he took point and helped preserve the place. And yeah, there's a lot of places around that area that are historic. Martin Luther King Jr. actually got arrested like right down the road from that fort at a bar.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's a huge area for the civil rights movement too. And yeah, it's just, that place is just oozing with history. And I hate using the word oozing, but in this aspect, like, I thought it fit perfectly, because you can't look anywhere in that place without seeing some history. And then there's like Flagler College is like, it's insane looking, like just the architecture.
Oh, I can imagine. It's pretty huge, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't remember off the top of my head how big the place is, but yeah, it's massive and you can't miss it. It's literally right in the middle of the town. But and it's
Wow.
supposedly haunted too, so I don't know, but I haven't really been in there long enough to actually, you know, test the waters with
Experience
that.
it. Yeah. You might not want to around
Mm-mm.
there.
Mm-mm.
You might have a totally different journey after
Yeah, no.
that. Are there any like dream locations that you hope to explore, like
Ooh.
bucket list?
Well, um, one of them was we had this place, you're probably familiar with it. The Sun Resort here, it is probably one of the biggest locations here in Florida,
Mhm.
as far as urban exploring goes. And it's like 900 rooms. I think it's like 929 rooms or something like that.
Jeez.
Let's see. It was a resort for people coming to Florida, to Disney World. So
Mm.
before
Mm. Interesting.
before Disney built their whole like collection of hotels, before all that, this place existed. And like I said, it's like 900 rooms. It's insanely, and it has a convention center in the middle of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and basically this is a urbex like hotspot in Florida, or it was, and I'm going to tell you why it was in a second. But before the world went to crap because of COVID, this place was patrolled by security. And this was one of my dream spots because exploring with Josh uploaded a video of the place, and he actually got caught there. And
Oh,
then
no.
yeah, and the security just let him off. Like, it was whatever. But like, ever since seeing that, I was like, dude, I want to go in there and see. So one night, think it was like after work or something, me and my buddy Eric went to the place, and so we just kind of parked in the parking lot across from the place, and we were like, all right, well, let's go in there. So we're like walking across, there's like a parking lot, and I wish I could put in the perspective just how massive this place is. But like, we're walking, and keep in mind this place has security. There's a guy that was paid by the owner of the property to basically, I think he was paid to stay there, and he could take care of like his mother that was like sick or something, and like they were just like, hey, you can stay here and you can take care of your family that needs to be taken care of, but you gotta keep watch of this place. So of course, like, we're walking across this overgrown parking lot. It used to be the parking lot to a place. I glance over to my left. It's pitch black. I can't see anything. So
Oh, no.
I only see the glare of a window from a car. And so I'm like, dude, that's a car over there. Like, we need to go to the right and just stay outside of this area, because it was the security guy's car, and there are no other cars in there. That's the only car that was pretty much in there. So we're like walking, and keep in mind, like, yeah, Florida's hot, but once it gets to winter, um us Floridians, I guess I'd consider myself a Floridian after living here for like over 20 years, it gets to be about 40 degrees. Like it's not cold, you know, in other people's mind, but like us
Yeah, but
Floridians,
here,
like,
yeah, no, I'm like that too, and that's just being in South Carolina, but
yeah,
it's the same thing. I'm like, I
yep.
cannot,
So
I don't handle it well.
yeah, your blood thins out, and it's just not the same. Like, even when you go up north, it's hard to get used to the change. Because, like, I went back up north, and I was just like, oh my god, like, what the hell? It's fucking 20 degrees. Like, I'm just dying.
It's literally 52 outside, and you're like, it's 10.
So, like, yeah, it's like 40 something degrees out that night, and we're just like walking around this giant ass abandoned resort. But this place was massive. It had a gift shop, it had a convention center, a restaurant, and I think it's like a collection of like 4 sets of like buildings you can stay in, and there was like 3 pools. But yeah, it was huge. And so we're like walking around, and we're like, dude, there's no way inside this place. And we go to the rear of the convention center, and we go out. There's like a place where you can go under this overhang. I don't know what it was for, but I guess it was just like part of the design of the convention center, where like, you can go out and you could stand there, and like, it would keep you dry from the rain.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going through there, and we just look up at one of the I guess they're like rooms, or they're hotel rooms. We look up, and there's a light on, and we're just like, what the I'm like, why is there a light on up there? And like, we just hear like this beeping noise, and we're just like, all right, well, let's turn around and start getting the fuck out of here. So we go back around the other way, and we find this like little, it looks like somebody threw a rock through the bottom glass door, and that was our way in. So like, we were able to kind of step inside the little broken pane of glass and just go in. And it's this giant like convention center. It's huge, it's massive. And you look up, and there's these crazy looking like lights. The chairs are all still set up, the tables are still set up. The divider for like, because they cut the convention center into sections, so like they cut it in half for smaller events, and then like they open it up for bigger. And
that makes sense. Okay.
And So like we're looking around like, dude, this is all still set up. Like, and we were just like flabbergasted. But this was like one of my dream places. I'm like, dude, like I can't believe we made it in. Like this is insane. We didn't run into security at all. And like we just like stood there,
Took it all.
yeah, and looked at the ceiling like, damn, like this is wild. But that was like one of my dream explores. And unfortunately, like that place now, it is overrun with squatters. It is literally like a faction of like gangs of homeless people
Oh my
there.
gosh.
Like,
Oh no.
yeah, it literally looks like a bomb went off in that place because like buildings are burnt. The restaurant area, like the whole roof caved in.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
So it's like doomsday around there.
I kind of dubbed it like the ground zero of urbex because it's just like everything just like kind of collapsed and just burned, and it's just
Ugh, that sucks.
yeah, it definitely went down in the dumps. But as far as like dream explores, I can't go in Nara Dreamland because that's gone, which sucks. Anywhere in Italy would be freaking amazing. And just Japan. There are so many like houses there that are just like abandoned.
And they look so different because the
Yes,
architecture is so cool there.
yeah, they're so different. And like just I love Japan in general because it's just such a different like culture. Like I mean, I like it so much that I started teaching myself Japanese and like started looking into
You're like, I'm gonna run away.
yeah,
there.
exactly. At this point, yeah, like why not? But
Yeah, totally.
yeah,
Let me know if you go so I can go too.
yeah, I seriously tell people all the time. I'm like, I'm gonna take like 12 people of the best people I know, and I'm just gonna go. Like, and I'm just gonna be like, hey, we're here now. Let's just stay here. Let's find a place. Let's have a place here. Like,
Let's just make it a YouTube channel of its own so we can get funding while we're trying to figure out where the fuck to go live in Japan.
And it's just so fascinating to me how different they do things there. And but yeah, anywhere in Italy and Japan would be amazing. I even like Norway. Norway's
Totally. Anywhere that's not here. Basically.
yeah, exactly. I mean, if I were to pick a place here, ooh, that
narrows it down a bit.
yeah, that I tell you what, Waverly Hills Sanatorium is on my bucket list. I definitely want to go there, but that's not really abandoned. It's more of a tourist thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Carolinas have some really amazing like houses that are abandoned. Plus, it's like it's so beautiful there. Like, and you know that because
I'm here.
yeah,
I'm there.
but I mean, I've just been up and down the East Coast, and like, I haven't really got to explore too much outside of Florida, as I kind of said. I dipped a little bit into Georgia like a few weeks ago, and that was cool. Like, Georgia's pretty nice, but yeah, as far as dream locations, easily like Italy and Japan.
Yeah. You're talking other continents for sure.
Yeah.
I'm the same exact way. And ditto on the Japan thing, because I just started following an account. I think it's called Abandoned Japan. But the stuff that person posts is just incredible.
They got a lot of like amazing schools there too.
Yeah. Do you think stuff goes to trash the same way over there as it would over here? Like, I guess maybe my perception on America is kind of skewed right now because I'm like, well, no shit, everything goes to trash around here.
Yeah, no, you're definitely you hit the nail on the head, because I was just about to say the same thing. I was like, well, considering the shambles of what we are rummaging through
Considering
today,
we're in our wrecking ball era.
yeah, like I don't think things get trashed as fast over there. I definitely don't think that. Like,
It just seems like a more respectful culture,
yes,
like, in general.
I think yes, it is a more respectful culture, but I think they are dealing with a same scenario where they are facing a lot of like, I wouldn't say corrupt younger kids, like rebellious like younger kids. I feel like they're facing like a weird like it's
Inhumane, like, disconnected from
yeah,
humanity.
I think it has a lot to do with the internet too. And I
Mhm.
hate to sound like a fucking boomer right now, but goddamn, like it like hear
Mm.
me out. I think as soon as like the internet was introduced, a lot of like kids were just like, oh yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then it's like because Japan, they are so strictly raised to follow their family's traditions and
Mhm.
basically their lifestyles. And once you open up the internet to like the youth, things go to
Yeah.
hell quickly. And I think that's what is happening in Japan a lot. And I'm not saying it's happening to all of the kids that are like younger over there. I'm just saying like there's a lot of people.
It's probably, like, the first time they're really dealing with something like that,
Yeah.
whereas over here, it's just kind of been the norm for a while.
Yeah, and plus I don't know how their internet activities like tracked over there and whatnot. Like I don't know.
Or regulated
Yeah,
or stuff.
like
Yeah.
so I don't want to say that like the youth is a problem and be that boomer, but
No, but it's like you're saying. I feel like in general, us coming from the place we did with the internet and having to kind of see where it started from, in
yeah,
a way.
because we are
Um,
we're
we're different
yes,
and we know how to be responsible with it because we came from a place where even though we had the internet, we still didn't have immediate instant gratification and access to
yeah,
all these things
exactly,
that then ripple over into our real lives or our social lives. Like I couldn't imagine being in middle school or high school now with how social media is and
jeez,
everyone's like trying to be an influencer or you're not cool until you have so many followers or whatever the fuck.
yep,
And I'm just like I could not I already had enough pressure on me just being a regular old girl
yeah,
in
yeah,
high school
you and I,
minus a cell phone, so it's like
yep.
add that onto it. Oh no.
You and I both. That like besides the girl thing, because obviously, but
You're like you and I both but not that part.
yeah, but like I had issues just showing up at school and being myself, and it's just like I
Yeah,
didn't have
same
internet,
here.
I didn't have friends over the internet, I didn't have any of that. But now it's just like you're not.
Yeah, and don't think when MySpace was a thing I didn't get bullied
Oh,
because I surely did. I got bullied on MySpace too and in real
it
life.
was
Like it immediately started
yeah,
kind of fusing forces and I'm just like, okay, this just takes away my outlet of having peace at home,
yeah,
where I can like pretend at least that
mm-hmm,
you fucking idiots don't exist and
mm-hmm.
now I have to deal with you on my MySpace page.
Yep, it's like and now kids, these poor fucking kids now they have to live up to
Oh
these
god.
these
Unrealistic.
like yeah unrealistic aspects. Plus I feel like they're cultivating this other life for themselves
Mhm.
on the internet,
The screen.
and
Yeah.
whether this life is true to them or not, they don't really know, because I mean they're kids. Like this is like the youth we're talking about. They don't know exactly how the world works. And honestly, if I knew how the world worked when I was younger, holy shit. I
Yeah.
oh my god.
We would have done things a
Yeah,
lot differently.
a lot differently. And
Mm.
like so they're not only do they have the pressure of like real life shit, now it's just like internet shit.
Mhm.
And I think honestly it influences a lot of like things that go on. Like I don't want to get into controversial like um things like gun violence and whatnot and stuff like that in America, because you and I both know I'm pretty sure, and I don't want to speak for you, but I'm pretty sure that mentally everyone is facing some type of crisis nowadays. Like
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
whether people are conscious to that or not, the fact of the matter is everybody is facing something that they cannot see. And
Mhm.
up there, it is I said this to someone the other day, because they compared Vietnam War to depression. And I'm like, no, because the Vietnam War was man-made. This is something that is man-made. Depression is something far worse than war. This is something that we create within ourselves. This isn't
Yeah.
something that's man-made. This isn't something that, like, somebody says something to you and, oh, you're at war with yourself now. This is just something that one day, like, you
You
feel
can't
that.
escape from. Yeah.
And it's two different kinds of hell.
Mhm.
It is. And one we can't control, um and then of course our mental health, like it once we get depression and we have all that built up, you cannot control that. It's almost like a runaway semi that it's not stopping until it hits a wall. And even if
Mhm.
it hits a wall, chances are it's just going to keep going, like, depending on
Mhm.
how strong that wall is. And but yeah, no, it's again, like, I really feel like when it comes to, like, abandoned places, like, it definitely falls down to, like, a couple things. It falls down to the uh, frail collapse of mental health in
Mhm.
that country or that state or whatever, and it falls down to I think discipline too. Um,
Yeah.
because I know back then when I was being raised, my grandparents and my mom were constantly, like, watching me. Now
Mhm.
it's just a whole different ball game. I feel like people are just distracted 24/7.
Agreed.
Um,
And then they deflect by paying attention to something else, and that
yes,
thing happens to be a screen, and then no one's living in
yep. And
reality,
then
basically.
sometimes it's even like they seek attention just by doing bad things. It's like, oh,
The subconscious thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like you said earlier, this community, it's just like it's the bad apple spoils the bunch type of deal.
for sure.
I've literally watched people post themselves just kicking down fucking doors, and then just
Crazy.
just cutting locks. I'm like, bro, like,
Nope, that's a
mm-mm.
totally new ballgame.
Like, I'm just like, and then God, like, that's a whole nother ball game where you explore with these people. You don't know that they do this, but then they do it. And then, like,
And you're immediately like, "Never again will I go
well,
exploring
not
with you."
only that, but if you guys get caught, it's like, dude,
Yeah, then you're
you're
guilty.
both
Yeah,
screwed
exactly.
because you're in there with
Mhm.
that person. That's why I'm just like, dude, like, when I explore with people, I'm just like, I want to
You have to be
know
selective.
who, like, you know.
We need to know who you are. You
Hmm.
need a screening process.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, not that crazy, but I need to know, like, that somebody's just like, oh yeah, they're pretty cool, they're chill, like,
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
because
totally agree. I mean, I guess that's one of the perks of going by yourself,
mm-hmm.
because at least you know what you're gonna be doing and you're responsible for that. But
Yeah,
yeah, I totally get
it's
that, and I've definitely explored with a few people where I'm like,
yeah,
probably won't be exploring together again, but have fun."
yeah. I don't.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think I ever had, like, the displeasure of just being like, oh, well, nope, not exploring with this person again. But
No,
um,
just me.
yeah, like, I like again. That's why I like to keep my circle small, because I'm just like, yeah,
Mhm.
I know people here and there, and it's just like, it's cool, and, like, I know everyone online. I've seen their work, and I tend to, you know, I help people whenever I can. Like if somebody's just starting out exploring, like, and I know their account, and I always share their stuff. I'm always like super receptive, and I'm just like, you know what, whatever. Like I want this person.
You are like that. That's
Yeah,
true.
and I
Yeah.
want people to grow. I want people to just continue seeing the beauty and just like everything in the forgotten that so many people just like walk by and just don't even notice day by day because they're too busy scrolling on their phones or just worrying about the next meeting or just worrying about finding the next best job or relationship or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's something to escape the rat race of this fucked up life that we are just kind of given, like, hey, here's your life, there's no guidelines, have fun, and then we're just fucking we're kicked to the wolves.
We're just winging it.
We're just kicked to the wolves, and we're just fucking going through life. And um i I honestly like I sincerely just, I'm blown away by so many people's like work. It's crazy. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been doing photography same amount of time I've been exploring, 5 years. And I've literally seen accounts start out and grow so fast. And I'm just like, wow, that is incredible, because I remember following this account when they,
When they had 3
yeah,
followers.
and now I'm just like, they're doing something completely like different, but it's still the same like urban exploring thing. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just wild to me. And
Yeah, and you get those people too that you just know are meant for it, you know?
yeah,
Like I have a couple of people I've been following for a few months and I've just watched them blow up. Shout out to John Berkey, he's one of them.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, and he's just and it's people like that, you know, like he inner city explores and I think he's in Detroit if I'm not mistaken. And he makes it look so fucking cool. Like I've never wanted to go to Detroit until I started
yep,
following John Berkey. And now I'm like, that's all I want to do. If I'm going to go inner city exploring, I'm going to go to Detroit and hit up
yeah.
John.
He does a lot of like cool,
Churches
yeah,
and
churches. Even like the photography. I think he went with like Perks Urbex, and
I saw
yeah,
that.
and I
Yeah.
was just like, it always blows me away. Like just, and then like just seeing like people like make stuff like that, where especially Detroit, where it's like there's a lot of like bandos there, but they're like very like messed up. But he makes them look like, you know, like they look amazing, like with what he photographs and whatnot. And there's so many people that do that, and I'm just like, trying to think of some other people off the top of my head. Why am I drawing a blank?
There's too many. That's why.
Yeah. And you get people like Adventure is one, and then you get like Dragon Boy and
hmm
Mon Monster and Butterflies on Mars. Like people that create these crazy reels that have like this Tim Burton esque like American Horror Story type of intro like
I know.
vibes.
Yeah.
That shit is
Like the
in.
screen is flickering. And you're
Yep.
just like, what?
That shit is impressive to me. I could honestly go on and on about like just the talent out there. And but yeah, for me, I mean, I started taking photos 5 years ago, but I remember when I was a kid running around with like a disposable camera at the zoo.
I know.
And that was one thing I always wanted to do. I always wanted to like do nature photography, but then I started looking into it. I'm like, holy shit, that's expensive. Because I looked at the lenses.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh no.
You're like, nope, we need an object.
Yeah, so I I went the route of zoology, and I studied that in college for a bit, but here I am doing technology like surplus repairs and stuff. So
Oh,
I get
really?
to mess with anything from old cameras to mortuary tables to
Whoa,
projectors
that's crazy.
to surgery microscopes, X-ray machines, um,
Oh wow, that's so
yeah,
interesting.
stuff like that. That's my job now, and we even get like lost and found stuff from nearby airports, and we just test the items, sometimes repair them, and then we sell them on eBay. We have like tons of contracts with so many cities here in Florida and different colleges, and they just send like their surplus equipment, like projectors they don't use, wireless microphones, PA systems, stuff like
Oh,
that,
that's nice.
laboratory refrigerators, centrifuges, a lot of scientific stuff. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Wow, that sounds pretty interesting, actually.
And it transmutes to like exploring too, because I see some of this stuff when I'm in abandoned
I know you
places.
probably are able
Yep.
to identify so much
Yep.
stuff where I'm just sitting here in Abando, like, what the fuck is this? What
Yep.
does this do?
I've literally went through a place and like someone was like, "What the hell is this thing?" I'm like, "Oh, that's just a P32 centrifuge. They just put samples in."
If you ever randomly get a FaceTime call from me on Instagram, it's because I'm standing in a bando and I found a random item
Okay,
that I don't know
I,
what
I
it is. So I'm gonna be
definitely,
like, Chris, I need you to
I
identify.
definitely could probably do that. It's definitely helped me in that aspect of where if I'm out exploring, I can at least know what I'm looking at and
Mhm.
whatnot, which is cool. Like I love my job and what I do, but holy shit, it does not pay what it should. Because I have to literally look at blueprints sometimes and figure out how things work. And like,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah,
Yeah, that's very extensive. You need a raise for sure, I can
yeah. The one guy I work with, he's my supervisor, he has a degree in biomechanical engineering. So
Oh, shit.
he knows what the hell he's doing. So I usually, if I see something that's like way above my pay grade and my
Expertise.
expertise, I'm just like, yo, check this out.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
that's what I do. So um,
Well, cool.
it's definitely carried over to exploring very well. Plus, I get to mess with like old cameras and whatnot, and that's always fun.
Mhm. Yeah, and that ties back into your photography,
Hmm.
your love for photography, so
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, well, I will let you get into your explorer's track if you've had time to think about that and pick out a song that's, like, relevant or meaningful for your urbex journey.
Oh man.
You're like, "Dun, dun, dun."
Oh man, this is like where I would phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
You're like, "Did I get a lifeline?" Oh,
uh,
that's so funny. Well, it's no pressure either, I know that's a lot. You can
no,
also
like
just, like, shout out your
this
favorite
is,
band or something.
and it's funny because this song plays in my head all the time, and um, I don't really listen to country music while I'm in the car, but Willie Nelson, On the Road Again.
Oh, well, that applies, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that definitely, or I've Been Everywhere by Johnny Cash.
Nice.
Those
Nice.
two.
Those were older school than I thought you'd
Yes.
get.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh yeah, but when I'm in the car, I'm usually just listening to metal because it keeps me awake, it keeps me hyped. But every
Keep you
time
alert.
we get in a car to a next location, those songs play in my head, and I'm just like, yep.
I guess it's gotta be for a reason.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, can you tell listeners where to find you, like your social media, YouTube, any of that?
So my YouTube is Bloodercutioner. My Instagram is Bloodercutioner as well. My TikTok is Blood Explorers. That is blood with underscore explorers. And I yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, I hope that this was enjoyable for you.
This was incredible. I
Okay,
loved
good.
I loved every aspect of it, and I hope I didn't go on too much about the paranormal, but that is just like one of those things where it's like everybody thinks I'm into the paranormal, but I'm really not. Like I'm not there for paranormal, but yeah, no, it's been an amazing experience. I I am just super thankful for all the people I met that do this, that just explore and share all their content, and just everyone who gives their time to just support people like you and people like me that just put a lot of time into everything that they make as a creator. And it's just one of those things where it's like, even 30, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, like who's to say if any of us will be here for
Be exploring.
yeah. I'm
or have anywhere to go.
I damn sure aren't gonna be rolling around in a wheelchair in a bando at 70 years old. Like there's just no way. Maybe I'll have a cane.
That's
but
true. I'm gonna be probably like in Depends at that age, so I don't know how that looks gonna go.
Well, I mean,
I'm like, y'all, someone's got to change my diaper real quick.
I mean, there's a hot thing now where just people are just taking poops in bandos, I guess. So I mean,
according to Urbex Confessions, you are not wrong.
Like
listen, I've already made 2 debuts on Urbex Confessions, and I have under 500 Instagram and TikTok followers. So I'm like, I'm nobody, but yet I've debuted on Urbex Confessions twice.
I am so glad I am not. And I'm probably going to
I've done everything I can. I've even blocked the page as soon as I started the podcast because I wanted no affiliation. And somehow, some way, it's happened to me. And I'm like, I've done everything in my power to not be on here.
I'm just going to jinx myself and say, I am so glad I am not partaking in the...
And I don't partake. I don't even respond.
I don't like... And that's just
the last one though roped me and Carter into it, so I had to respond once I saw that he did, and I was like, no, if you're gonna bring me and Big Banks in on the same sentence, first off, whoever you are, thank you for the clout. Second, I had to respond.
Yeah. It's again, it's like,
you're gonna jinx yourself now though, because I'm gonna go on there and make an anonymous post about you and just make something up. So I don't have to be alone in this world, and then I'll be like, Chris, now you made your debut.
No. But no, that's like one of those things, like that's one of those what would I even call it? A black sheep in the community. Like that's one of those things where it's such a weird little thing, but everybody knows it exists, like Urbex Confessions.
And everyone hates it, but then everyone's like reading the tea on there. And like you said, 90% of the post is people just saying, oh, I was in this asylum and I took a shit at this bando in the asylum.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, what?
It's like, what the fuck, bro? Like some of the stuff on there is just like
they're making it up.
I'm just like, man, like, but you're gonna make something up and somebody's gonna be like, wait, how the fuck?
Somebody's gonna go looking for that shit you took in the asylum.
Oh my god, man. Like,
that's gonna be what I'm gonna say
the
about
asylum
you.
Turd. The asylum bandit, turd bandit. There you go. The asylum,
the diarrhea bandit.
I'm gonna just make a shirt like that now. The abandoned asylum turd bandit. It's gonna be a comic book.
I'm gonna call this episode that. I'm gonna be like Diarrhea Bandit with Chris.
Yeah. That's it's gonna be a comic book. Like it's gonna be like Captain Underpants, but he's gonna have like a
I envision like the Hamburglar, but like I don't know.
He's gonna have like one of the rebreather masks on.
And a roll of toilet paper nearby at all times.
Oh my god.
He's gonna have like, instead of a fanny pack, he'll have like flushable wipes strapped to him.
Gotta have the camera just like kind of hanging.
We need an artist. I need someone to start sketching this character out.
The turd burglar.
Oh god.
Jesus.
That was too much, but also good.
So good.
Well, we got Unhinged, but we saved it for the last 2
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly.
So it's
And usually,
usually it's the first 2.
yeah, usually I keep it together fairly well for stuff like this, but I mean,
I like to bring it out of you.
it's great. Like, I mean, like that's how I am my explorer. I'm just like completely fucking goofy as shit.
A loose cannon. Yeah, me
Like
too.
like that it's a good way to kind of break the tension when it comes to like, hey, we can't get caught. It's like,
Oh, you might. Yes, we can.
yeah. Say, hey, I'm gonna act like I'm making you some popcorn and you're about to enjoy a movie at the abandoned movie theater. That's what I did a few weeks ago. We went to this abandoned movie theater. My friend's like, hey, it's a popcorn man. I'm like, okay, I don't know how this works. And like I'm sitting there and the popcorn machine, like it turned on and everything. But
You're like, where's the
yeah,
kernels?
she's like, extra butter. I'm like, where the fuck's the butter? I'm just like, all right, well, I don't know how any of this works. I quit.
Your first day on the job.
Oh,
I guess there's no future for you in that kind of
yeah, I
arena.
can't be twirling popcorn bags like that one guy and throwing the bar up in the air and juggling it and spraying it onto the popcorn.
Like the Salt Bay of
Oh,
movie
Jesus.
theaters.
Yeah.
With the butter like drizzled down your arm and
Oh
into
my
the
God. Just like, I'm gonna grow a really like sophisticated mustache. I'm just gonna like
wear a tight white t-shirt that almost looks like you're sweating all the time.
Oh my God. I mean, I might as well be. I'm in freaking Florida, so
At least it fits.
Yeah.
Fits the bill. Well, that was good. That was a good laugh for the end.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on to the podcast for an interview, and thanks for taking the time out of your evening to do so.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
That was my conversation with Chris. His perspective reminds us that exploration is never just about broken glass and empty halls. It's about presence, memory, and the echoes we leave behind. If you'd like to see more of his work, you can find him on Instagram at Bloodrokutioner. As always, any and all other links will be in the description, including the ones for the Echoes of Elsewhere website and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and and all the things. Before I wrap this up, I want to briefly announce that I will be going from weekly episodes to bi-weekly episodes, so I will be back in 2 weeks. Until then, and as always, keep exploring the allure and the abandoned, the beauty of decay, and the echoes of elsewhere.